The modern Parsi community rests on a paradox. It holds a legacy built on philanthropy, yet today its foundational institutions face systemic distress and mismanagement. This decline stands in contrast to the monumental achievements of the past. The Sir J.J. Hospital is a testament to an era when the community designed and built modern infrastructure. Today, the reality involves failing trusts and fractured leadership. The community has moved away from the values that once enabled these massive building projects. This decay reflects a psychological divide. Spiritual practices are currently isolated from the way these institutions are governed. The gathas are often treated as passive liturgy, preserved for personal spiritual benefit and ritual recitation. The Ahunavaiti gatha contains a sequence of logic designed for crisis resolution. Zarathustra's text functions as an actionable manifesto for rebuilding failing societal structures. We can extract a report of specific actions by analyzing the directives within the verses. This process involves 3 phases: identifying the crisis, defining the leadership metric, and executing the governance model. Resolving this philanthropic crisis requires translating ancient theology into modern institutional protocol. The protocol begins in Yasna 29, the Geush Irvan. This is the diagnostic phase. The world in this text cries out against oppression and the concept that might is right. This oppression parallels the arbitrary authority paralyzing many Parsi trust boards, where unbalanced power creates institutional instability. The Gothic response to this crisis is a demand for a competent, ethical human leader to execute a turnaround. Recognizing this distress is the necessary first step before structural reform can begin. Failing to address institutional decay is a violation of the Gothic worldview, which requires the active rehabilitation of those who are oppressed. This shifts the focus to the Ahunavaiti, a text often treated as a chant, but structured as a framework for leadership selection. The syntax of this formula reveals operational directives. The first choice concerns the quality of existence and lordship. The text establishes the Ahu, the lord or executive, and the Ratu, the leader or guide. The text sets a strict condition. This leadership is granted only on the basis of Asha, proven righteousness, truth, and merit. This yields action item 1. Parsi trusts must dismantle arbitrary authority and replace it with meritocratic appointments based on track records of truth and precision. The purpose of this power, or kshatra, is to rehabilitate the oppressed and serve those in need. Reciting the Yatha Ahu Vairya is a commitment to a merit-based system of community governance. Execution requires the Amesha Spentas. These represent human operational metrics and the actual tools needed for the turnaround. These divine attributes map directly onto executive nodes in modern governance. Vohumana is the mandate for institutional strategy. It requires data-driven decisions and the rejection of nepotism. Asha Vahishta is the mandate for operations. It demands transparency in financial accounting and governance. Spenta Armaiti is the mandate for execution. It is the translation of strategy into compassionate service. Action item 2 requires institutions to audit every decision against these specific metrics. Actions that lack rationality or transparency violate the foundational Zarathustrian framework. Zarathustra's teaching does not focus on fear or passive submission. It introduces the concept of the Sashient, a co-worker of God. Humans are partners in progressing the world toward perfection, or freshocarity. The ongoing decay of our philanthropic institutions represents a failure to step into this role of active partnership. Reforming these institutions tests whether the community follows the theology they recite. The Ahunavaiti Action Report requires merit-based leadership, transparent operations, and compassionate service. Implementing transparent governance and rational strategy returns the faith to its first principles. This turnaround effort reconnects the community to the ancestors who originally built these trusts. Stabilizing these institutions through the logic of the Ahunavaiti Gatha honors the past and restores the cosmic order.